What do you want of me? I did not choose to live on this island for its ambience. I chose it so I wouldn't have to entertain fools. Leave me be. That is quite the fool's journey, just to find someone's dead body. I'm afraid to ask, but whose grave would you be looking for? Of course. Searching for the great Nasrudin. Ha! The great Nasrudin. What was so great about him? Damned fool, if you ask me.
What? How dare you, old man? Do you have any idea who you're talking about? Nasrudin was the wisest and most benevolent elf in the history of Arcanum. He saved us all, and that includes you. So I recommend you keep your comments to yourself.
Oh? And you think you know about Nasrudin, young man? Who are you to tell me about that old worthless elf?
Worthless? Why, I ought to... No, I'm not going to sink to your level, old man. Nasrudin would have had more patience with men of your kind, and so will I. don't have to defend him.
Oh, of course you don't have to defend him, young man. The old elf was completely incorrigible. There's no defense whatsoever for individuals of such low character as he. You've chosen well not to waste your words on the likes of Nasrudin.
You're testing my patience, old man. Another bad word about Nasrudin, and it might just be the last one you say on both feet. Do we understand one another?
Virgil, perhaps you ought to keep your voice down with our new friend here.
Ah, now there's the voice of reason. And from such a beautiful young elf. You know, in my younger days, I knew a girl who looked a lot like you. She had the most wonderful name. Let me see, what was it? I suppose it would translate to something like the Silver One.
Yes, I also know someone like that. She used to tell me about a great man she once knew. She told me that he taught her a great many things. That he was much like her own father.
Ah, yes. Make sure to pass on my greetings to your mother. She was such a wonderful child. And it seems she has a wonderful daughter as well. Greetings, Princess Raven.
I will pass on your greetings to her. It will make her very happy to know you are here among us. Greetings, Nasrudin.
I would say in all my glory. I'm afraid I haven't any left. No. I delivered the world to Aranax. I put in place the system that he felt was his for the taking. I even imparted my elven arrogance to him. I must bear full responsibility for his actions. You do not understand. He was my son. I taught him everything. Only to see him be carried away by his youthful temper. I should have seen it. There must have been a way to stop him before it came to what it did. It started in the Age of Legends. I was young, headstrong. I thought I could take on the world, and I did. I fought the good fight to protect the lesser races, as I arrogantly called them, from the chaos that raged everywhere. Dragons, demons, evil sorcerers, I fought them all and won. And this all before even the days of the Elven Council. I gathered a group of idealistic mages together, and we created an Elven Council, for the good of all. We really believed that. For a time, I suppose it was even true. I really believe things began to change when we discovered a way to banish things from this plane of existence. It was the ultimate weapon. Once something was banished from this plane of existence, it could never return. With ultimate power comes ultimate responsibility, and ultimate corruption. We were quick to use it on new and ever more terrible threats. The Bane of Kree, Krakatur, Gorgoth, Kurgan. Sometime during all this heroic carnage, my son came of age. I quickly ushered him into the council, amidst some of the others' protest about his young age and inexperience. And then it all came crashing down upon me. Look, are you certain you really want to hear all this self-pitying drivel? He had taken it upon himself to keep the balance, as he termed it. He believed that being a member of the council validated any course of action he chose to pursue. This meant attacking anything he saw as a threat, such as a city that had begun building advanced technological devices. Vendegroth, it was called. He warned them to cease their destructive behavior, and destroyed one of their factories to underscore his point. Justifiably afraid for their very lives, they swiftly constructed a device that could destroy even the most powerful wizard. He responded by calling on forces that few of us had ever seen, and wiping not just the city, but the whole province of Vendegroth from the face of Arcanum with one blow. He felt himself betrayed when the council condemned his actions. He showed no remorse. In his arrogance, he was sure he would be vindicated. I cast the deciding vote to banish my own son. If I must die, I will be the last, he screamed as he hurled the spell that brought an end to the council, the Age of Legends, and my will to live. It was a harsh dawn that morning on the plains of Brodgar, and it was there in the shadow of the Black Spire that our armies met in the most terrible battle that Arcanum has ever seen. As the sun set, only 4 of us were still alive to witness the destruction we had brought to pass. I found Aranax among the corpses of our decimated armies, and it was there that I condemned my own son to the void. It was only through our combined might that Aranax was subdued, and I watched my own son fall into the horror of the void. But such was the fury and power unleashed by this conflict that the very fabric of reality was torn asunder. With our remaining energy, we were able to seal the rift with powerful wards, and the Ring of Brodgar still stands today as a monument to my son's destructive pride and my own unforgivable failure. When I regained consciousness, I was on the shore of Thanatos. I'd regained just enough energy to seal myself in a regenerative shell. I remained that way for 1,000 years. No one had ever stayed in a shell for anywhere near that amount of time. Somehow, my magical hibernation extended my life much beyond that of even the most powerful elven mages. The world out there is not mine. It only serves to remind me of my failure. Everyone I knew, everything I held dear is gone. I myself should have died long ago. Besides, I do not fancy being worshipped as a god. I pity you, then. I received a taste of their hero worship from Mannix, and I can tell you I didn't like the taste of it one bit.
Hold on there. Do you two realize exactly what you're talking about here? Perhaps this is an interesting philosophical debate for you two, but we're talking about the foundations of the Panari religion here. I mean, if you're not dead, that means you're not his reincarnation. Where the bloody hell does that leave the rest of us? Are any of the prophecies true? Have all of us Panari just been running around half-cocked for the last 2,000 years?
Easy, young Virgil. I know how all of this must make you feel, and I apologize for making light of your beliefs. Unfortunately, I don't have the answers you're seeking.
I mean no disrespect, Nasrudin, but if you don't have any idea as to what's going on here, then you'll forgive me if I'm having a few doubts concerning the validity of my newfound religion.
Good, Virgil. If there is one thing in life that one must learn, it is to question everything. In the end, I'm sure you will have the answers that you seek. And whether or not this is all the fulfillment of a prophecy, or just random chance, does it change the gravity of our situation? Would you do anything differently if you knew one way or the other?
No, I wouldn't. And I will see this until the end, regardless of the reasons behind it. Thank you, Nasrudin. At the very least, your wisdom warrants a religious movement, even if its followers tend to be a bit soft in the head.
I feel as if I've been waiting to hear those words since I awoke those many years ago. I had hoped it would never come to this. Why, Aranax? Why can't you see the folly of the path you've chosen? What are you going to do about this situation? I fear there is nothing I can do. I am old, tired. I do not believe I could stand up against my son now, even if I could find the heart to try. We do not know what life in the void is like, if it can be even called life. Who knows what sources of power could be found on the other side? I can think of only one possible strategy to defeat him now. You must retrieve the Vendigroth device that was meant to destroy him. And so it was, above ground. There are many catacombs and tunnels lying beneath the surface. Some of the members attempted to retrieve it to use against Aranax, but they never returned. We were forced to battle him without it, and you know the consequence of that. Extremely powerful mages have the ability to regenerate themselves whenever they are badly hurt, as I did. If one is powerful enough to hurt a master sorcerer gravely, the mage will retreat into his regenerative shell and emerge stronger than ever. The device is the only way known to disrupt the regenerating shield. Quite so. The technology of the device is designed to disrupt the field in such a way as to cause the shell to drain the life force instead of regenerating it. Quite gruesome to contemplate, actually. Further, it is said that one who is killed in this manner is forever separated from this world, with no chance of being returned magically or otherwise. You must search the ruins of Vendigroth in the wastes where the city once lay. I do not know exactly. Those days are long past, and with them a better part of my memory, I'm afraid. All I know is that at one point Vendigroth and its settlements spread out over that whole area now known as the Wastes. There was a bridge leading into the Vendigroth province. Here. I must conserve what little remains of my energy to banish you to the void once you have retrieved the device. The banishment spell is rarely performed by a single mage. Its power requirement is so great. Certainly. If we were to wait for Aranax to breach the wards, I fear the loss of life would be immeasurable. The irony of all this is not lost on myself. One might almost believe the prophecies to be true. It does appear that you are instrumental in halting this cataclysm. If only this were not necessary. I had hoped if Aranax ever returned, he would have realized the error of what he had done. Yes. It is obvious to me that he has committed himself to a path which can only end in his destruction. You must meet me at the site of the wards, the Ring of Brodgard, as they are now known. The barrier between the worlds is thin enough there for me to be able to send you across by myself. I would suggest that you bring as much help as you can recruit, as it will be no easy task to defeat Aranax.